The keys jangled in my hand, their metallic clink echoing through the empty apartment. Sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, painting golden streaks across the polished hardwood floors. Bare white walls stared back at me, a blank canvas for the life I'd fought so hard to build. My name is Emily Harper, 29 years old, single, and standing in the middle of my very own 2-bedroom condo in downtown Seattle. Priced at $300, it was a steal for a place just a 10-minute commute from my office. After 8 grueling years of clawing my way up, this was my triumph, a home bought with my sweat, my sacrifice, my relentless drive. 8 years ago, fresh out of college with a degree in finance, I could have chased the glittering life my friends flaunted on Instagram, weekend getaways to Malibu, ski trips to Aspen, cocktails in rooftop bars. Instead, I took a job at a small accounting firm in Bellevue, where the starting pay barely covered my rent. 60-hour weeks became my norm. My days a blur of spreadsheets. My nights spent hunched over client reports in a cramped studio apartment where the radiator hissed louder than my dreams. Emily, you're wasting your 20s, my best friend Sarah would say, waving a margarita under my nose at some trendy bar. Live a little, but I'd shake my head, my eyes fixed on a vision only I could see, a place of my own. A sanctuary built on my terms. I lived like a monk, ramen noodles for dinner, thrift store clothes, no vacations. Every dollar I didn't spend went into savings. My friends posted photos from Santorini or Coachella, I posted nothing. My life a silent grind. Then came the turning point. My grandfather passed away, leaving me $20, not a fortune, but enough to tip the scales. His lawyer handed me the check with a knowing look. He said, you'd make something of it. Emily, you're the only one in the family with that kind of fire. That inheritance, paired with my savings, became the down payment for this condo. The day I signed the papers, I stood in the empty living room, heart pounding. The walls were scuffed, the floors scratched, but I saw only possibility. I spent weeks scrubbing, painting, tearing down hideous 90s wallpaper. My evenings fueled by black coffee and YouTube tutorials. Exhausted? Sure, but alive, more alive than I'd ever been. Then the phone rang. It was my mom, her voice syrupy but edged with something sharp. Emily, you free this weekend? We're having a family barbecue at the house. Nothing big, just come. What's it about, Mom? I asked, paintbrush in hand, flecks of white on my jeans. Oh, just a surprise. Be there, sweetie. Her tone sent a chill down my spine. I hung up, staring at the half-painted wall, my grip tightening on the brush. Something was coming, and it wasn't good. My story begins in earnest a decade ago, when I was a 21-year-old dreamer with nothing but a diploma and a stubborn streak. While my peers chased promotions or partied through their youth, I buried myself in work at that Bellevue firm. Mornings were coffee and balance sheets, afternoons, cold sandwiches in the break room, nights, dragging myself back to a shoebox apartment where the bed left no room for a desk. There were moments I doubted myself. Emily, what are you doing? I'd whisper, staring at the ceiling as the neighbor's TV blared through the wall. But then I'd remember, this wasn't sacrifice for nothing. It was for freedom, for a life I wouldn't owe to anyone. Sarah tried to pull me out of my shell. It's Friday. Come to the club. Let loose, she'd beg, her earrings glinting under neon lights. I'd glance at my watch, thinking of the client report due Monday. Can't. If I don't finish, my boss will have my head. Sarah's sighs grew heavier each time I said no. Her disappointment a silent weight. I had no time for fun. No money for the designer dresses or concert tickets my friends flaunted. My only luxury was a savings account, fattened by years of discipline. Then, a break. My boss, Mr. Larson, called me into his office. Emily, we've got a big client, West Corp. They need a full audit of their last 5 years. It's a beast, but if you nail it, there's a $40 bonus and a raise. My heart raced. I'm in, I said, no hesitation. The next 4 months were hell, sleepless nights, endless numbers, my eyes burning from screen glare. But when it was done, I held that bonus check, tears streaming down my face. It was proof. I was building something real. That money, plus Grandpa's inheritance, bought this condo. People called me obsessive, even cold, for skipping the parties, the trips, the best years of my life. They didn't get it. They'd never lived in a closet-sized apartment with peeling paint. Never eaten the same meal 3 times a day to save a buck. This condo wasn't just a home, it was my defiance. My victory. The barbecue was at my parents' house. A weathered 2-story in Tacoma where I grew up. The white paint was chipping. The backyard swing creaked. But it held memories, of reading on the porch, of simpler days. I arrived with a store-bought apple pie. My stomach knotting. The door flew open before I knocked. My sister, Chloe, 26 and radiant, stood there in a flowy dress. Her blonde hair perfect. Chloe was the golden child. Spoiled by our parents despite dropping out of college to find herself. They funded her trips to Bali. Her designer bags. While I worked summers to buy my own books. You made it, Chloe squealed, eyeing the pie. Is this from that bakery Mom loves? Yeah, I muttered, stepping inside. The house smelled of her perfume. Expensive and overpowering. In the living room, Mom chatted with aunts and uncles. Her smile tight when she saw me. Emily, put the pie in the kitchen. Chloe, help her, she said, her voice polite but cold. Dad was by the grill, talking to Uncle Mike, barely glancing at me. I felt like a stranger. In the kitchen, Chloe sliced the pie, her movements deliberate. So, heard about your new condo, she said, her tone syrupy. Must be nice. Buying a place all on your own. The relatives chuckled, like it was a punchline. I clenched my jaw. Then Chloe turned to Mom. Jake and I are moving in together. But we're a bit tight on cash. Emily's place is so big. Right? Mom's eyes locked on me. Emily, you heard her. Chloe and Jake need a place. You're alone in that huge condo. You don't need all that space. My heart sank. I knew this was coming. Mom, that condo is mine, I said, voice steady. I worked 8 years for it. I'm not giving it up because Chloe can't manage her money. Chloe's eyes welled up, her lip trembling. I'm pregnant, Emily. I just need a place for a few months. Mom rushed to her side, hugging her. I told you, Chloe, your sister's selfish. Don't expect anything from her. Dad stormed in, face red. Emily, how can you be so heartless? Your sister's having a baby. Heartless? I laughed, bitter. I worked myself to the bone while Chloe got handouts. You call me selfish, but what's she ever done but ask for more? The room went silent. Mom grabbed the pie, her hands shaking. You're not the daughter I raised. She hissed. You're cruel. Before I could speak, she smashed the pie into my face. Cold cream slid down my cheeks. The sting of humiliation sharper than the sugar. No one moved. Chloe looked away, but I caught her smirk. Get out, Mom whispered. You're no longer welcome here. I walked out, head high, pie dripping onto my shirt. Each step to my car felt like shedding a weight I'd carried too long. Back in my condo, the silence was deafening. My shirt was stained, the sweet smell clinging to me. My phone buzzed. Texts from Mom, Dad, Chloe. I ignored them, searching instead for top real estate lawyer Seattle. Daniel Carter, 20 years experience in family disputes. Popped up. I dialed. This is Daniel Carter. A calm voice answered. I need help with property ownership. I said, voice shaking. My parents' house. It's mine and my sister's. Per my grandfather's will. They've taken it over. Paid me nothing. Got proof? He asked. Yes. The will's clear. What do you want? I stared at the bare wall. My share. I'm done being invisible. 2 days later, a letter went to my parents' house, demanding rent or a buyout. That night, Sarah called, frantic. Your mom's on Facebook, trashing you. I opened the app. Mom's post had hundreds of shares. My heart breaks to say this. But my daughter Emily is trying to evict us from our home of 25 years. All for money. She wants to sell, leaving her pregnant sister Chloe homeless. Comments piled up. What a monster. Poor Chloe, pregnant and abandoned. I gripped my phone, tears burning. They'd painted me as the villain. Chloe texted. Happy now? You've ruined us. If my baby suffers, it's on you. I threw the phone down. Sobs breaking free. I'd expected pushback. But not this. A public crucifixion. I called Daniel. Send a sale demand now. You sure? He asked. No turning back. I don't want to go back. I said. Voice steel. I want what's mine. To be continued? Emily's fight is just beginning. Will she reclaim her rights? Or will her family's betrayal break her? Her story is a raw, unflinching look at sacrifice, resilience, and the cost of standing up for yourself. What would you do in her shoes? The Seattle skyline glittered beyond my condo's windows. But inside, the air felt heavy, thick with the residue of betrayal. I stood in the middle of my living room, a paint roller in hand. The walls now a crisp, hopeful white. The stains of apple pie, smashed into my face by my own mother, had long been washed away. But the humiliation lingered, a ghost that haunted my quiet moments. My name is Emily Harper, 29. And this condo, my $300 sanctuary, was the prize of 8 years of relentless hustle. Yet, the victory tasted bittersweet, tainted by the family I'd lost in a battle for what was rightfully mine. 2 months had passed since the mediation with my family, my parents, my sister Chloe, and her boyfriend Jake, ended in a storm of tears and accusations. I demanded my half of our family home in Tacoma, a property left to me and Chloe by our grandfather's will, valued at $340. My share was $170, a sum my parents refused to pay, choosing instead to vilify me. My mom's Facebook post, branding me a heartless monster who'd evict her pregnant sister for profit, had gone viral in our small circle, racking up hundreds of comments calling me a traitor. Chloe's text, blaming me for her unborn child's future, was the final cut. I blocked their numbers, deleted my old social media, and vowed to rebuild, alone. The mediation's failure left me no choice. With my lawyer, Daniel Carter, I pushed for the sale of my share. When the $175 hit my bank account, I expected relief, maybe even triumph. Instead, my chest felt hollow. My parents, Chloe, and Jake had moved to a modest bungalow in Puyallup, a far cry from the sprawling Tacoma house with its wraparound porch. Whispers reached me through mutual friends. They were struggling. Jake's freelance gigs barely covering the mortgage. Chloe on maternity leave with a newborn. The bank was circling, foreclosure looming. Part of me ached, after all. They were my blood. But another part, the part forged in years of sacrifice, whispered. They made their choices. You made yours. I poured the money into my condo, transforming it into a haven. The scuffed floors now gleamed, polished to a mirror shine. I replaced the rickety cabinets with sleek maple ones, their warm wood glowing under soft kitchen lights. A charcoal gray dining table sat by the window, where I'd sip morning coffee and watch ferries glide across Puget Sound. I bought a plush cream sofa, a queen-sized bed with a tufted headboard, and a geometric rug that tied the living room together. Each purchase was a declaration. This is mine. No one can take it. But healing wasn't just about furniture. I signed up for a yoga class in Capitol Hill, my muscles stretching away years of tension under the instructor's calm guidance. I enrolled in a real estate investment workshop, my finance background sparking at the idea of flipping properties. At night, I filled a leather-bound journal with raw, unfiltered thoughts, pages of anger, grief, and, slowly, hope. Some entries were tear-streaked, others scrawled in furious loops. But each one brought clarity. My worth didn't hinge on my family's approval. It never had. One rainy evening, as I curled up on my new sofa with a glass of Pinot Noir, my phone buzzed. It was Sarah, my rock through this storm. You okay? Her voice was warm, laced with worry. I'm good, I said, tracing the rim of my glass. The condo's silence a comforting cocoon. You sure? Chloe had her baby, a girl. Your mom's posting again, saying the kids got no aunt because you abandoned them. My throat tightened. I'd expected this, but the sting was sharp. Let them talk, I said, voice steady. I'm done carrying their lies. Sarah paused, then spoke softly. You did nothing wrong. They never valued you, not like you deserve. Real family isn't blood. It's the people who show up. Who respect you. Her words sank in. A lifeline in the dark. Why does it still hurt? Sarah? I whispered, tears spilling. Because you're human, she said. But you're also a badass who stood her ground. Don't forget that. After we hung up, I sat in the dark, letting the tears fall. The condo's quiet hum, the fridge's soft whir, the distant city buzz, felt like a promise. I'd lost my family, but I'd found something fiercer, myself. Weeks later, I was arranging dahlias in a ceramic vase when the doorbell chimed. Peering through the peephole, I saw Sarah, her raincoat dripping. You won't believe this, she said, stepping inside, her eyes wide. Your parents' new house, it's in foreclosure. Jake's behind on payments. And Chloe's not working. They're drowning. My stomach twisted. A mix of pity and vindication. What now? I asked, setting the vase down. Sarah shrugged. Nothing. It's not your mess. You don't owe them a dime. She was right. I'd spent years being their safety net. Their scapegoat. No more. Sarah squeezed my shoulder. You rebuilt your life. This place. Your strength, it's inspiring. Be proud. As she left, I sank onto the sofa, staring at the vase's vibrant blooms. A smile crept across my lips. Small but real. I'd lost my blood relatives. But I'd gained freedom, self-respect, and a home that was undeniably mine. The weeks that followed were a blur of new beginnings. I joined a book club, laughing over novels with strangers who became friends. I started a blog, Seattle Spaces, sharing tips on home decor and independence. My words resonating with women who'd faced their own battles. My yoga teacher invited me to a retreat in the San Juan Islands, and for the first time, I said yes to adventure. Each step felt like reclaiming a piece of the life I'd denied myself for so long. One night, as I wrote in my journal, the city lights sparkling outside, I penned a single line. I am enough. It was a truth I'd fought to believe, carved from years of toil and tears. My family's rejection had shattered me, but it hadn't broken me. I'd built this life, brick by brick, choice by choice, and no one could take that away. Emily's story isn't just about a condo or a legal battle. It's about the courage to stand tall when the people closest to you try to tear you down. It's about realizing that family isn't always the ones you're born to, but the ones who see you, who lift you up. Sometimes, the hardest fights are the ones that set you free. What would you have done in Emily's place? Would you have fought for your rights? Or let love for family hold you back? Her journey reminds us, your worth is yours to define. And no one, not even blood, gets to tell you other.